I'm gonna give you some really simple techniques on how to get a lifted cheek and eye look. All right, to dive into the lifted look, let's do cheeks first. I really like to start with something like a contour stick or a contour blush, anything like that. So something that's gonna be a little bit deeper than your skin tone. Generally, you want it to be cooler in tone so that it gives the illusion of like a shadow effect. Traditionally, a lot of people would go by where their ear is, and this is a really low placement. And when you wanna give a lifted look, you wanna do above that. So it's almost where the fullest part of your cheek is where you want to go with that contour. And then from there, you can blend it down and soften everything. This is going to guide you and inform you as to where the placement of the blush is going to go, where the placement of a highlighter is going to go. It just really gives you that stopping point, and you always want it to be above your lip. The next product I'm going to use is something that's going to act as like a highlighter or something that's going to just be the lighter effect. So this one is actually the Refi Concealer, and it's just a shade lighter than your skin tone. This is a great way to add lift without having like shine on the face. And this is where you want to highlight that high point of the cheek. So you can see here, it's almost giving like two lines. Everything should be drawn up when you're doing a lifted look. And sometimes it's nice when the two meet, especially if one is like a little dark or maybe not cool enough. The dark and the light tones together will create a cooler tone, starting to give her that lifted effect. One of the best ways to make yourself look like you have a really lifted, youthful look is to add blush. I feel like blush is really tricky because you can do it in so many different shapes and ways, but we're really focusing on how to get that lifted look. So my best guideline is to actually go from like the bottom of the nose, and you don't want to go anywhere below that. You could use your brush as a guide if you're not really quite sure, and even do like a little stamp. And for Eshika's face shape, I really like to focus a lot of the intensity of the color just right in the center, and then blending it out and upwards. All right, now that we've given the cheeks a really nice lift, we're going to focus on the eye and going back in with that same contour shade and drawing a line essentially from the outer part of the eye. It's almost as if when you look forward, this lower part of your lash line sort of draws up naturally on its own, and that's sort of what you're going to follow. It's as if this bottom lash line is being carried all the way up. So you can do just a nice stripe. For some people, that might go into your temple a little bit. Others, maybe your temple's a little higher. It doesn't really matter. The essential part is that it's really just coming off of this eye. And again, you're kind of drawing those lines. So we have like the line of the highlighter here, which is the lighter tone, the deeper contour shade, and then we're gonna go back in with the highlighter tone. So it gives you these blockings that draw the eye up and out. So Eshika has really beautiful defined brows, and you can really tell it's giving you a direction. And because it's giving me the direction that's a little bit more of a downward tail, I'm going to just fill in this top section so it doesn't become heavier, and that'll give it a lifted look without changing her actual brow shape. If you happen to have a brow shape that is either a little bit more straight, or let's say you don't really have much of a tail, you could potentially draw your brow just a little bit more outward and straight to open up this eye and give it that lifted look. But I'm going to show you on somebody who has a really defined brow shape how it's just going to give it just that extra layer without closing this eye space in. And the more you fill, the heavier the brow is going to get. So really keep it light when you're applying. And some people really love to like fill or give that really like sharp angle. Angles are really going to draw downward. So try not to fill in too much to give like a straight line and straight line down. You just want to make it so it's kind of as if it's going off into her temple. And that's really the simple, straightforward way to get a really lifted look in no time at all using just 3 products.